All right, we are live. So first, you guys, we just want to say thank you so much for hopping on and joining our training tonight. Training tonight is all about Rita. And so first, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'm going to have my business leader girlfriends also introduce themselves. And then we'll get this party started for you. So my name is Heidi. I am business leader for Shazam Enterprises. Have been in business 18 years in, April this month. And absolutely love what I do. And so I'm super excited to be hanging out with all of you for a little bit tonight. So who wants to go next of my business leader girlfriend?
Yo, Sarah, we'll save you the best for last. Yo, baby.
I just figured I wouldn't get a word in edgewise.
Yeah. I'm Sandy Emmerich, and I've been with Deb for half of the 70 years of the party. That's 35 years. Started when I was 18. And I'm so happy to be here because I love learning from you guys and so appreciative. And I just started for the kit. Whatever, I stay for the people because all of you girls are my family and my friends, and I love you. So thank you for that. Ciao for now.
And my name is Sarah Brennison. I'm the business leader of Infinite Shine Enterprises. I have been in Tupperware now. It'll be 8 years in October. And I found out via Facebook that today was the day 7 years ago that I decided I was going to be a director. Because I saw two directors get Mustangs. Sherry Happy and Cindy Ross both got their Mustangs presented today. I said they won them. Little did I know that you actually earned them. But that was the day I decided, okay, well, if they're just going to give cars away, I want one.
Woohoo!
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So I am super excited to be able to introduce our speaker and trainer for tonight because she is one of my greatest business partners. She is one of our top directors here at Shazam, and she has mastered, she's going to be like Heidi, she's mastered recruiting. And I say mastered because is there always room for improvement, you guys? Yes, there's always room for improvement. But the reason I say she's mastered it is because it's her passion. It's her passion. It's what she talks about because she loves it. And so I feel that when we get to that point where we start up at the top, we start at the mountaintop and slide down, right? And we can explain that later on, that's when you've mastered it because it just pours out of you and it's something that's so natural and so second nature. So I'm simply going to turn it over to Miss Tabatha Richardson. Let's give it up to her, you guys, because she's going to share some amazing tips with you tonight.
Thank you. I have, let's see here. I guess I can tell you a little bit about myself first. So I've been with Tupperware for 4 years and I think a director for 2 years, a little over 2 years. And I love it. I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm able to recruit the way that I do is because, like Heidi was saying, I have a passion for it, and it has truly changed my life. I started this business with nothing. I didn't have anything, and I needed so much. So this business was able to do that for me in a lot of different ways, and I feel like it's my duty to share that with other people. They may not need what I needed. They may have all the money that they need, but this business may fit for them for another reason. So I feel like it's my job to find that reason and to share with them how this business can affect them and how it can change lives even when you don't even expect it to. So that's just a little bit about me and why I love recruiting. I like to welcome people into this business for a lot of different reasons. And I'm just going to kind of go through some of the biggest questions that I get and kind of give you my answers to those, what I tell people on a regular basis. The biggest thing is, why should you recruit? A lot of people don't know that. They're not really sure why they need to be recruiting. And everyone's different. It really depends on the person that you are and what you're passionate about. When you find that out and you figure out how to run with that, things are going to explode for you. It can be, when I first started, it was about making money for me. I needed to make some money. So originally it was about making money. And whenever I figured out how you could do that, sharing how you could do that exploded my business. I was able to help so many women in so many different ways. And that was what really took us off from the beginning. As I settled in, I learned more about the other perks of the business, as far as, the say yes offers and the activation offers. Those are huge, huge, huge ways for you to get those products that you don't want to pay all that money for. And to go back to that point, I didn't have the money to buy the cookware. I didn't have the money to buy the pressure cooker and all these amazing products that Tupperware was coming out with. So the Say Yes offer was a way for me to be able to get those products in my hands just as much as I was helping these other women to come into the business and figure out all the perks. It was a benefit to me to be able to have those products and be able to demonstrate them at my own parties. So those are huge, huge reasons why. And then again, the sharing, for not being selfish reasons. I've never been a selfish person, and I feel like I am being selfish if I don't share my experience with this business with other people. You never know whose life you're going to impact. The lady who brought me into this business is no longer here, and she had no idea the door she was about to open for me. She had absolutely no clue. So I feel like in turning that around, you absolutely have no idea who's going to be that person that you impact the most. You really, really don't. Sorry, I took some notes here, so I have.
You're right. You're right.
Another question that I get a lot is, do you need to know everything before you start recruiting? And I love this because new people, especially when they come in, they're fearful of starting that because they're not sure. They don't know everything about the business. They don't know how to answer questions. And that's kind of the beauty of it. So if you think about it, you came into this business with the knowledge that you were given. You decided to make that choice. So you can turn around and use that same knowledge to bring in somebody else. They don't need to know any more than that. And if they have questions, you have contacts. That is the best part. You have leaders, you have directors, you have business leaders, you have groups of people that are behind you 100%. All you have to do is ask the question, and they are going to be more than happy to answer it for you. So when people ask me, or they say that they don't know enough to go out and start recruiting, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Because you don't need to know. It scared me. So everything you need is at your fingertips. You have access to that information at any point in time. But keeping it simple is one of the biggest things that you can take away from tonight, is to always keep it simple. And so if you're going and you're digging out all that information to share with one person all at once, they're not going to hear any of it. So keep it simple. Go with what you know. How do you start? How do you start recruiting? This one kind of plays in with a fear of recruiting too. There's a lot of people that are fearful of recruiting. They don't know what to expect. They're scared to ask. And you shouldn't be. When you're ready, when you know that you're ready to take that step for whatever reason, when you want a new stack cooker, or you want to start building a team, whatever the reason is, you have to set your mind to it first. And once you do that, then you can set a goal, and you'll learn that you can go after them much easier when you start setting those goals for yourself. If you write them down, if you share them with a girlfriend, whatever the case may be, when you set it in your mind that every single day when you go out, or maybe you want to start at every single party, when you go to every single party, you're going to try and bring in one new team member to join you. When you set that goal, you'll go after it. You'll find a way. You'll have it in the back of your mind throughout your entire party demonstration, and you'll constantly be thinking about it. So you'll find that those things will bubble to the surface. You'll start noticing people at your parties, and ways that maybe you could help them. Different things that people say will really kind of bring out how you can help them more. And I know that sounds a little weird, but for example, you have a couple people that are at your party, and one of them is talking to a girlfriend about how she is so happy that she was able to come to the party tonight because she just really needed a break from her family. Use that. Think about that in a way that this business could help her. If she could just get out of the house every now and then, use that, and then find a way to work it into your demonstration. It's so easy to work it in instead of going full head on with somebody. Work it into what you're already doing. But if you're listening to what they're saying, you're going to pull those things out. And the more that you do it and the more that you think about it, the easier it comes. I find myself doing it and I don't even intend to. It just comes out. So set your goals. Set your goals. Who is a recruit lead? And I love this one too, because I'm a real body language person. But the first thing that you should know about who a recruit lead is that everyone is a potential recruit lead. Again, you have no idea what's going on in each individual person's life, and they may not come in for the same reason you came in, but they may come in for a different reason. And if you're exploring all of those different options and all of those different routes and understanding them, then you're going to be able to reach a lot more people. But listening at your parties, I would say listening is probably a good 90% of your recruiting. You really want to listen to the people that are around you. And it doesn't even have to be at a party. It can be at social functions. It can be anywhere. And it just comes into conversation because you're listening to them and you're automatically thinking in the back of your mind how this business can help them. Body language is a big one at parties for me, because when I do my my recruiting game at my party, I watch everyone. And if they're looking at me and they're listening intently and they're not doing other things, I know that there's some spark of interest there. It may not be huge, but it's something, because you'll notice probably about half of your room is doing something else, checking their phone, doing something, but you'll always find those people that are really listening to what you have to say. And those are the ones that you want to follow up with. At the end of your party, you want to make sure you talk to them, see if they have any additional questions, because you never really know. But listening is the start to it. What to say when you have someone interested. And I like this one too, because people ask this a lot. They don't know, you've done your game and now you don't know what to do next, because you have somebody that you've piqued their interest. So my biggest go-to whenever I know that somebody is interested, but they're not asking those follow-up questions, is ask them on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being no, absolutely not, ever, and 10 being sign me up right now, and you can't say 5, where are you at? And listen, again, and this is my favorite thing to do. I love doing this at parties, because first, it's going to make them smile. They're going to laugh a little because it's kind of funny. But they'll tell you, and if it's a 9 or a 10, you know that you're signing them up that night. It's just a little nudge. All you got to do is really hand them the paperwork at that point in time, and they're going to fill it out. If it's a 6 or an 8, ask them what's holding them back, and then listen. listen to truly what they say is holding them back at that point in time. They're going to tell you, and you're going to be able to fix the problem. With an 6 through an 8, you're going to be able to fix the problem. It's just, I guarantee you, it's something very small. And if you're asking this question, they're probably not going to give you less than a 5 anyway, because they're already interested. So it's really, really simple on a scale of 1 to 10. It puts it back in their court. They're going to tell you what they feel. You're going to listen, and you're going to be able to help fix that problem. So that is what I say when people are interested. What information do you give a recruit lead? And I like this one too. I do warning envelopes. I know a lot of the business leaders have done them, so I'm sure everybody's got that information. They do kind of get tweaked. I know as it kind of goes down through the pipelines, they get tweaked over time. What I put in mine is the Change Your Life in 60 Days flyer. It's a good one that just kind of shows them over the course of 60 days, these are your options. You can, it's working great for you. You want to continue, you like the discount, or it's not for you and you want to go back to being my hostess. It's really, really, really simple form, but it just kind of shows them how easy it is. So I used that one. The Where Will the Party Take You flyer, which did that get put back in the back office? I know it got pulled out for a while. I don't know if I got put back or not. Okay, so I'll have to tweak that one. Again, I think I have the older flyers. I also use the 6 types of consultants. There's several different variations of that, different formats, but it's the same information. So the 6 types of different consultants, because it's important. They need to know that there's a place for them no matter how they are personally. If they may not be exactly like me, and that's totally cool, but we want them to know that there is a place for everyone. And then of course the Say Yes offer. And that's what I put in my warning envelopes. I don't overdo it. I don't want to give them too much, and I want them to come to me if they have questions. The biggest thing with the warning envelope that I do is I ask them for their number. If I don't already have it, I ask them for their phone number, and I book a date and time to follow up with them. And I do that right on the spot because I want them to know that I'm going to call them in a day or two at this specific time to follow up and see if they have any additional questions, if there's anything I can help them with. And then I go back to the on a scale of 1 to 10. So that's where that follow-up, they're interested at this point. I'm going to do on the scale of 1 to 10, and I'm going to get them signed up. So then, where and when do you present the opportunity? I say the same thing every time, everywhere, to everyone, every time. Every time. Because you just don't know. You just don't know. The opportunity has something for everyone. Is everyone going to be successful at it? No. But it has something for everyone. It has something to offer. So we should be sharing it with everyone. I get a lot of no's. That's just me being real. I get a lot of no's, and that's totally okay. But I've helped so many more people just by saying something, just by opening my mouth and saying something. And you would be really surprised how many times the opportunity to talk about it comes up in just regular conversations. I never would have thought it, but several years ago when I made that mind shift into recruiting and I decided that this was my passion, it got easier and easier and easier over time to talk about it all the time with everyone. So that's what I do. Parties, obviously, you want to talk about recruiting at your parties, and always, always do a recruiting game. There are so many games out there. And actually, I think I have a couple of them here. So there's so many different games out there, but pick one. Find one that you like, one that you can work with. You'll find that you'll tweak it a little bit over time to fit you, and that's great, but play something. Always play some kind of recruiting game. You will be amazed at how much of a difference it makes in your business by playing a recruiting game. It helps to open those doors to people that you wouldn't have thought in the beginning when they first came through the door, and we all kind of throw up that judgment like they're going to say no, they're not going to do it. But it opens their mind whenever you play these recruiting games. And 9 times out of 10, someone will have questions. The recruiting game that I play is the envelope recruiting game. It's really, really simple. It's just got some questions in the envelopes. So when they open them up, they ask the question and I answer it. Super simple. I like it. It works really well for me. I have played a few other games here and there, but I always come back to that one. I know that there's a lot of directors out there that do other games. Rochelle and I were just talking, it's been a couple months ago, that she does a Fridge Smart recruiting game. And I'm not real familiar with that, so I'm not going to try and teach it to you. But it's out there. It's available. It's something that can be taught. So that's another option. The Price is Right game is one that I have done several times in the past. And it's really simple. It's just fill in the prices of what you think each of the products are, and then you go through each one of them. So it's basically gearing your whole game around the kit and how much the kit is valued at. Then at the end of that game, you can go in and explain more. So you can explain the whole kit and how it works and all that good stuff. But it's a really simple game. That game can be played in home or online. I know there's a lot of online party people, and that one can be tweaked to play both ways. And so that's a game I like for that. Another thing too for those online people is to just post a few things about the business, short and sweet, but post a few things. And then at the bottom of it, say you'll do a drawing if for every person who asks a question, or for every question that is asked. Say you'll do a drawing. It's really simple, I know, but those simple things can really make a huge difference. So that was another one I thought of too earlier. This is really just 4 bullet pointed recruiting games, and there are tons, guys, tons of different games you can choose from. I know what works for me. Rochelle knows what works for her. Heidi knows what works for her. Everybody knows what works for them. So for you, it's just finding that one that you really like, one that spoke to you, and run with it. Give it a couple months. Try it out for a few months. And if it's not working, then switch it up. Try something different. But always play a recruiting game. It'll make a massive difference for you guys. So now you have a new recruit. What do you do with them? I love this. So there's a process, I think, in everybody's mind of the things that you do. And the more that you do it, the easier the process becomes. The first thing I do when I have a brand new recruit is I start them out just like a hostess. I book the thank you party. I tell them what we're going to do. I have them fill out their address list so we can mail out invitations. I started out just like I would as I was booking a hostess. Then from there, you want to get them connected. You want to get them connected with the upline director, with the upline directors groups. There's several. Shazam group, your business leaders group. I realize this isn't just Shazam, but your business leaders group. Get them connected in all of those groups. The resources that are available to your new consultants are limitless. I mean, I've been in for 4 years and I haven't even come close to seeing everything there is to see when it comes to Tupperware. There's just so much stuff. We have the back office that is available to them too. So just getting them familiar, getting them connected with everyone, getting them in those groups, and getting them familiar with what's out there. Because there is, I mean, if you go to training in your back office, it literally goes through it step by step. You can watch the different videos, you can do the different kinds of trainings. It's phenomenal. We also have pages out there if you're a checklist person. We have a couple different versions of checklists that are really helpful. there's an onboarding and activation list that I've used for years, and it lists them out. It's nice and simple, and you just go through and check it off. You've got the first 24 to 48 hours and then the first week, and it's super simple. That's the one that I've used for a very long time. But once you get used to the process, you're going to know what you're going to do as soon as you bring them in. Just 1, 2, 3, and it starts rolling off. Very, very simple. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I know I kind of ran through those quickly. Oh, I did pretty good. 7:30.
No, you did. Yeah, you did fabulous. You did fabulous.
How do you phrase that question again about the 1 to 10?
I do on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being no, absolutely not ever, and 10 being sign me up right now, and you can't say 5. Where are you at?
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Debbie, I love you. Okay. You're a very good speaker. You have everything very organized. That is, your bullet points are great. And I love that you said, you don't need to know anymore. You don't need, that's that. You just need to have the passion to recruit like you're doing, because you have the access to the answers, period. That is like, I'm gonna box that up and probably gold dip it and send it to Tupperware. I love that you said keep it simple. You're not prejudging them. And your big thing was who is a lead, and everyone's a lead. You're not trying to make it hard. I think that's the most important thing I just heard here today, is you just kind of said, you know what, you have to lead with your honesty, and you'll recruit a lot of people. So my question to you is, at your best recruiting event or party, what was the most you ever recruited at a party?
Oh, that's a good question. I did a party once where I recruited 4 people at one party.
Why do you think that happened?
Because I was extremely passionate. When I went into this party, I knew it was going to be a good one. This lady had several RSVPs, like 30, right? So I knew it was going to be a really good party, and I told myself before I left, and I told my husband, because that's what I do. I always tell him. I give him my goals because I feel it's important to tell somebody else to hold you accountable, right? So I told him what I was going to do, and I think I told him I was going to recruit 3 people. I wanted 1 for each 10 people that were there. And he said, okay. And so I left, and I had that in my mind the whole time, that I was going to recruit 3 people at this party. And so I would throw those little things out there, you know, every chance that I would get throughout the party. I would throw a little nugget, I guess, of information out about joining the business. And by the time it was all said and done, we had 4. So,
Wow.
Something else I'm going to chime in, and Tabatha, I want you to share this, and because I think it's extremely important, and it's taking you back when you were so excited about moving up in your journey, and you had director in the sites out here, and it didn't go as planned in the beginning.
yeah.
And I think it's just, so if you would just share that journey, and then I'll chime in why I'm having you share that.
Okay.
If you remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think so. So if I tell the wrong story, I'm sorry about that.
All right.
Yeah, so I had, I wanted director. I was probably 2 months into the business when I decided that was my goal. I was going to go after that. And so I hit the pavement very hard. And I had a little bit of a setback. So it was December. Had done like, I don't remember. We were kind of struggling, and I was a star manager at the time, and I ended up losing my title. I went back down to manager in January, but I never lost focus. I kept the focus, and we stepped right back up in January and finished month 1 of DIQ. Then in February, we finished month 2, and in March, we hit director. So I went from manager in January to director by the end of March.
Yes, you got it. You guys, the reason I wanted her to share that was because, number one, Tabatha hit, I mean, very key points throughout the entire conversation. It'll be awesome because this is recorded and I'll get it all fluffed up and stuff and you can go back and watch it. But the reason I wanted her to share that is because not always is the journey easy. Not always is it smooth sailing. Not always is it like, woohoo! I went from a consultant to a director with no hiccups, right? That's number one. So everybody on this webinar has had a hiccup, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, right? And the main thing that I want you to take away from this portion of it is that she didn't give up. She didn't give up. She didn't say this doesn't work. She didn't lose sight of her dream. She didn't lose sight of that vision. She kept pursuing on. And so remember that your vision is going to be your journey. Know your vision. Know where you're headed. Know why you want it. And one other thing I want to also share, because I hear this a lot, and then again, we'll open it up so you guys can ask Tabby questions, is I hear a lot of people say that they don't need the income. My husband is a great supporter. My significant other is a great supporter. I don't need the income. And that's totally chill. That's totally fine. Again, why I'm bringing this up is because what do you want for you? What do you want for you? So if your spouse or significant other is the provider and maybe you're looking for something else, maybe you're looking for that that self-satisfaction. Maybe you're looking for something that you can call your own. Maybe you're looking for, that belonging or whatever it is. And like I said, that's just been brought up a lot lately. And so I felt that was something that that should just be talked about, because I think sometimes us as women, we never want to say that our spouse or significant other doesn't provide, because that's not the reason or the meaning behind when someone says, I need this job, or I'm going to take this because we want extra income, or our budget doesn't quite fit all the extras that we want to do or support for our kids. Guys, don't feel bad about that. I mean, that's just society. Right? That's just the way it is. And it doesn't have to be a struggling process. So this business can be one of those things that can just be your thing or whatever you're looking for. So I just kind of want to throw those things out there in case that came through your mind. Because again, I've had that come at me a lot lately over the last few months. Tabatha, you nailed so many points. And one of them that really jumped out at me was ask everyone, right? ESP, ask every single person. And I want you guys to chime in, come off mute, show your cute little faces, but share first. Who of you have asked someone and you were expecting them to say no to the opportunity? You were expecting them to say no and they said yes. Anybody ever done that? And you were like, what? Hey! Right? Then how many of us have asked somebody and we were expecting them to say yes? They might have approached you and as you chatted with them and then all of a sudden they said no. Anybody ever had that? Look at all the hands, you guys. So why Tabatha, and she stressed it throughout because it's that important. Every single person. Because we don't know what somebody's walked through until we walk in their shoes. We don't know their journey. So, and I know Rochelle's got a story, not necessarily with the opportunity, but a sales one that can relate to recruiting. Rochelle, do you just want to chime on really quick? I'm totally putting her on the spot.
I'm trying to think, is it the one that Jill Jones has told me? Or am I thinking of something different?
I'm not sure what Jill Jones told you.
Okay. Well, about that, sharing the effort. Well, I'll share this, and then you can help me figure out what you want me to share. As far as recruiting goes, she was an amazing gal. I had on my team up by Minneapolis years ago. And why share the opportunity? Because a lot of people will put on a very good show. They will. And you share with everyone, just like what Tabatha said. It's our job to share. It's their job to decide, because you don't know, is their next trip to hop a jet to Europe or is to go to the food shelf? We don't know that. A lot of people put on that show. They're dressed to a T, all of that, because they want to hide what's really going on. They don't want anybody to know. And we could be that factor there. So that's what I was going to share. So I'm not sure what you want to be ready.
The one I was going to have you share was about not offering a gal.
Oh, that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I said, it was sales related, but it totally can flip into recruiting.
It can. Okay. So, we have these purchase with purchase deals always, and we're always taught to upsell and all of that. Ask everybody. So there was, I was at a party, and it was an amazing party. And at this point in time, this was quite a few years ago, we had like a 25, a 50, a 75, and $100 purchase with purchase. Quite a few of them. So this gal came up, she had $50 order, and I just kept adding them on. All of that. And then I didn't ask her for that $100 purchase with purchase because she was over 150 already. I assumed it would be too much for her. So I figured it out for her, sent her on her way. Then the next gal came on. For one reason or another, I asked her every single one, oh my gosh, you have a $100 order. You qualify for this, and this. Oh yeah. So got hers, thank you. And then those two were good friends. They started talking. She came back to me and she goes, Rochelle? I'm like, yeah. Why was I not offered this? Because I have over 150 in orders. I got white as a ghost. I'm like, oh, I am so sorry. I don't know. I gave her free shipping because I forgot, because it just never, and I can guarantee you, when that happens to you one time, you're never going to do it again. Never, ever, ever. Just because, so it goes back to the prejudging. Don't prejudge. I mean, offer it to everybody. You don't know. And if you want to change your life, start recruiting. And I know Heidi was saying about the money and all of that. If you don't need any more money, totally chill with that. But does that person you're talking to, do they need money?
Right.
So,
thank you, my dear.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. All right, you guys. So go ahead and first, let's open it up to some questions. If you have questions for Miss Tab. Sarah, I see your hand.
So Tabatha, I just want to say first off, I love the fact that you said you need to listen more than talk. And it was genius how you talked about just putting it into your party just by listening to what their conversations are. So it's just natural, because then in a way it becomes their idea. Not having to put it into their face and say, okay, yeah, you should come join me. And you've already brought it up. So it's a gradual thing. Just like we do our dating bids, this is a natural way to do recruiting. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And I agree with Sarah, because, we always have our listening ears on. If somebody says, oh, it's too expensive, I can't have that, automatically the first thing that comes out of our mouths, oh, have a party. You can get it for free or half price. The opportunity should be the first thing we offer, that mountaintop theory. And then that doesn't work. Okay, off from the party, because then they think they're off the hook, and then, oh, nope, won at their party. We're going to talk to them again. So, yeah, and I like that listening part with throwing that in there. It's a good reminder. You just had a lot of good stuff, Debbie.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm running my daycare. So I have a lady who wants to buy about $200 worth of items, but she does not want to hold a party. And I'm like, well, you're missing out on the free and half off products. You know, how can I get her interested in holding a party?
Who wants to chime in and help there?
Yeah, how can you get her interested in holding a party?
Yes. Because, I mean, she wants about $200 worth of items out of the book. And I've said, well, you could possibly get those free or half off if you have, you know, these outside orders or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I'm not interested. I just want to order.
And some people do just want to order. They just want to be a customer. And, you know, maybe offer her to be the preferred customer.
Okay.
Or have you offered her joining for the discount so she's not paying $200 and she can shop at wholesale?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
And
That's what I call a preferred customer.
Okay.
Is it the time? Like she's too busy right now?
I've never met this person. She just private messaged me yesterday. I want this, 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 and this. And I said, hey, that's awesome. You know, why wouldn't you just, you know, host a party or join our team and get it for a discount? Or, you know, have outside orders and have a party and try to earn some of your products for your half off. And she just was like, no.
She could be afraid of that P word like Danette is, that I learned last week. So and that could be all it is that she's just not, party doesn't resonate with her. But if you phrased it differently, like a get together or, you know, hang out with your girlfriends or something like that, and I can just go over these orders with you so I can make sure that I get everything, and, you know, invite a couple girlfriends over. How many chairs do you have around your kitchen table? I can make you some salsa. We could do it Friday night. If she likes margaritas, she can make those there. Then you're turning it into a party without her realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then if she doesn't really want it, just say thank you and
Yep.
Thanks for the memories. But Lacey,
then,
you brought up a really good question when you said, what do I do when I have this, you know, this order and I've tried party, and the next question we as a leader want to always ask a consultant who might have this question is, what did she say when you asked her to join? Because you as a training coach want to know the exact words that woman said to you, which was, Lacey, what were the exact words she said to you when you offered her the opportunity again?
She was just like, I don't know at this time.
Okay. And so the reply is, I respect that decision. And, you know, I really love this order and it's going to help me a great deal. I just wanted to make sure to help you first. So that's kind of, you're always going to have a close. Is I want to make sure to help you first by being able to maybe put this order under you because I really want you to get the benefit. But it's okay, I'll benefit. It's okay. I'm okay with benefiting. So that's just where you go as a leader and a coach to dig in deeper. But that was a very good question.
And she was saying, well, I might be able to take some book orders or do a Facebook party, but she was adamant about not having a home party.
Sure.
So should I be okay with that?
Absolutely.
We
Okay.
can't force anybody.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Absolutely.
my philosophy is if you can do a Facebook party over a book party, that's better because you have the opportunity to show them things that they would not look at all in that book, and you have a better opportunity for getting those datings.
Absolutely.
And Lacey, did I hear you say that you don't know this lady?
No, I've never met her. She's from a town next door to me. And
Okay.
I made a mistake of getting on a garage sale site and saying I was selling my overstock. And then I removed that post and she goes, hey, I'd like to order from the book. And I'm like, okay, but you're not going to be able to order my stock. And so we talked about maybe doing a book order Facebook party. And I figured, you know what, if I did the Facebook party, I could show her videos or demonstrations through that without having anybody come to her home or my home or whatever.
Right. So here's the thing. When you talked about a party, just like, you know, Sarah was saying, Sandy was saying, number one, it could scare her. She could have had a really bad experience of having a home party. And and she doesn't know you. So again, it goes back to the like, know, and trust factor. So maybe when she orders from you a couple of times, or, you know, do a catalog show with her / Facebook party with her, she'll get to know that like, know, and trust factor, and she'll start trusting you. And then next time you ask her, hey, would you like to get your girlfriends together? You know, I'd love to come over and show you all the new stuff. She might be like, yeah, sure, come on over.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know, Tabby did such a great job. I'm just kind of curious out there, and you've got so many on, Heidi. Wow, Shazam, you're rocking, and thanks again for inviting us. And for all of you out there that really learned something that stood out that Tabby said to you, I mean, I'm just curious if everybody just kind of maybe type it in there, or if you can tell us what was it that Tabby said tonight that really got you on fire to recruit, because I'm pretty sure she recruited 4 in an hour at a party. Look what we can do in 24 hours. So what's going to skyrocket you? So if everybody just kind of wants to maybe raise their hand, say something.
Yes, I agree with Sandy.
About 5 minutes.
100%.
Go.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What is, you know, what's one thing you're taking away?
Just come off mute and share it so then we can have it recorded.
Don't talk so much.
Don't talk so much. Yes.
I think
God gave us 2 of these and 1 of these for a reason.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. Just stopping and listening.
Excellent, Nicole.
Awesome.
What else? What else was your takeaway?
You don't need to know everything. Brand new consultants, just what you were taught to when you came in, your information, that's all you need to know to welcome somebody else in.
Absolutely.
That was a huge one.
Excellent.
It's all in the book.
And Patricia says, find your passion, your purpose, and stop and listen.
I love it.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else. We have don't need to know everything. Keep it simple. I get nervous about that. That's okay. We all did. Right? And everyone, everywhere, all the time. Excellent.
Yes, I am.
Excellent, Pam. Okay. Couple more.
Only give them what they ask for.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes,
You can go, bleh.
don't puke information on. We just get so excited.
Don't give them the vehicle plan right away.
Right.
I learned that body language is a big factor. Should watch for that.
Yes.
Excellent.
Eye contact too. Don't be looking down at your feet.
Absolutely.
Don't prejudge.
Trust factor. I love what you said.
So here's another quick question then. Okay, so you guys shared your takeaway.
Focus and don't give up. Here's one of from Milks to Everyone. Sorry, Heidi, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Krista and I have this relationship also. We like interrupt each other and then we're like, stop talking.
Hey, we're going to have fun on our call tomorrow at 11, aren't we, ladies?
Yes, we are.
Cheers.
Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. So all information is phenomenal, right? Information is great and you file away it in your brain, but it's a waste of time if you don't use it. So let's share a couple of ways really quick on how you're going to implement those 1 or 2 things that you took away tonight immediately. And when I say immediately, that's like tomorrow. What are some of those things?
I'm going to use your scale of 1 to 10. Excuse me, 1 to 10, Tabby.
Yeah, it works.
Yes, it does.
Okay, thanks, Jill. Who else?
I would like to get some more information on like how the recruiting, like her recruiting envelopes, how she has the envelopes at the party and then she does the questions off those envelopes. So, I mean, that's something that I would take away from it just because I feel like that would be more interactive for me.
It's very interactive. We can make sure that the business leaders have that.
For sure.
Yep. I can get that out to Sarah and Krista and Sandy. Thanks for sharing that, Nicole. How about one more? How you're going to use it?
You have to come off mute.
Not be afraid of the no.
Yay.
No just means new opportunity. Some will, some won't. So what? Who cares? Move on. Who's next?
Mm-hmm.
Always ask the next person. If you can't get the first one to do it, get them to book a party.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Well, you guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedules tonight. Give yourselves all a high five. Okay. A high five. Nice job. Because you invested in you. Right? Because you're worth it. So Tabatha, thank you for sharing your wisdom, your words, your talent, your expertise on something that you're so passionate about, and you are impacting people, not only within your own team, but look at all the people that you impacted tonight. So thank you for sharing and taking time away from your family as well. So again, everybody, thank you for your time. We appreciate you. So let's go out there and impact others, because all together we are better.
Powerful.
Everybody's like, yes, we're all that.
All of those words.
Have a great night, you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I will work on getting this all done. I've got calls the rest of the evening, but I will work on getting this all done and fluffed up and get it out so that you can rewatch it. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Heidi.
You bet.
Bye. Thank you.